video is part 3 of a series on Ricky's channel called Detective Swain, Camper Hunter. So here's a little info to bring you up to speed. Detective Swain hunts down campers to bring them to justice, most of the time at the end of a python barrel. In part 1, he and his partner Brooks were investigating the murder of a citizen, which turns out to be the work of a very formidable camper. In part 2, Brooks and a team of policemen die at the hands of the camper before Swain can get there to save him. However, he arrives just in time to meet the camper, who escapes before Swain can get his hands on him. Captain Decker, Swain's boss, chews him out over the entire fiasco and gives him one last chance to bring him in. Afterward, Swain returns to the warehouse where Brooks and his team were killed to search for evidence, but to no avail. Finally, after calling it a day and returning to his apartment, Swain finds a gift from the camper, in the form of a claymore right by his door. Last we saw of Swain, he was well on his way to passing out from the blast. Should have been using flak jacket bra. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy the video.
In another life, back when I wore a uniform, things were much simpler. The idea of a camper was unheard of. Men could walk the city streets without concern of being ambushed by a corner-dwelling douchebag. Back then, you only had to worry about minor criminals like rapists or serial killers. But sometime between then and now, things changed for the worse. Suddenly, things in the world became so serious as to justify camping. We haven't been able to recover from it. Damn, that shit hurt.
Swain, get your ass to the precinct! We're under heavy gunfire, we need every available man over here! Come find me behind my desk!
It's him. Captain, I'll be there as soon as I can. Got a bit of a shrapnel stuck in my spine and kidneys, so it may be a minute. Ow, 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 ow. Raging fires, bodies all over the place, and no liquor bottles anywhere. This has to be serious.
Swain, take cover behind this mahogany!
What the hell's going on, Captain?
20 minutes ago, we started coming under heavy gunfire and things quickly escalated. A few minutes later, a chopper gunner started shitting bullets all over us. We still have no idea who's behind this.
It's the camper, Captain. He finally got his kill streaks. Only a camper with a boss to guard obscure corners long enough to get a chopper in the air would do this.
How do you know that, Swain?
I read a rough draft of episode 4.
Oh, well, shit. Come on, grab a straw, let's take out that chopper. Let's roll. Swain, there it is! Take it out!
On it, Captain. Locking on.
That was easy.
Some people would argue that using a chopper isn't even worth it anymore.
Swain, I think it's time we resort to extreme measures. I didn't want to have to do this, but this camper is leaving me no option. Come on, follow me.
Captain, shouldn't you be concerned about the fires and destruction around the station?
Nah, the janitors will take care of it. Here we go.
Care packages? Do we really need to resort to this, Captain?
You already know the answer to that, Swain.
You're right. Sometimes in order to combat a camper, you have to do things you have to shower for afterwards.
Take these, Swain. The Blackbird will help you find him, and the gunship will get you to him. You know what to do, Detective.
Wait, what are you going to be doing, Captain?
Swain, commissioning both a Blackbird and a gunship in one day to find one camper is highly frowned upon. I gotta spend the rest of the day fudging up some paperwork and forging signatures just to make sure the brass up top doesn't notice too much. All that could take minutes.
Damn it, you're right. Alright, let's do this.
Good luck, Swain.
Decker's taking a huge risk signing off on using this many resources to find one man, but this won't end until one of us is dead. I'd prefer to stay alive, so the ends justify the means. Here we go. Figures a cockroach like this guy would hole up in the slums. I've got you now, you son of a bitch. Shit.
Not a step closer. I'll detonate the C4 right by your feet. I was wondering what else I had to do to get you and the good captain to fall back to breaking the rules to find me. Typical. Do you even follow procedures anymore, Swain?
I didn't come here for an ethics class from a guy who shoots people in the back.
What about a history lesson?
I'll settle for blowing your brains out if you don't mind.
Ever wonder how I know so much about you? Vincent.
How the fuck do you know that name?
Here's another name I know. Bruce Tillman. Ring a bell, Vincent?
No, it can't be.
Would you like to check out my Black Ops weapon guide?
No time for that, Stuart. I'm gonna be late for my March Madness video. We're running out of time.
Cheers.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your coffee-addicted gamer again, Dr. Chiz here, and I'm curious what everyone's gaming background is, and that's why I'm gonna take you on this little trip down memory lane with mine, and maybe you can relate and feel the nostalgia start kicking in. So my gaming history is, well, a little bit weird. I never had those Super Mario days. Yeah, I played them, but they just weren't for me. The only cartoony type game I ever touched was Diddy Kong, and I even raged at that. So people wonder why I'm good at any FPS I picked up, and that's not me saying that, that's people that have told me. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's because I've only dealt with first-person shooters for the majority of my life. I grew up playing all of them since the beginning, and I guess you could say I've been in training since day one. Now, I started and always was a PC gamer. My dad, who was an IT analyst at the time, brought me up on PC gaming. See, all the senior advisors that he worked with were constantly gaming at work all the time. Well, my dad was able to get a hold of games for free from these guys, and I was able to play with them because he wasn't into gaming. I wanted to get into it. My first game I ever picked up and touched was Unreal Tournament, the original one, and this at the time was the new upcoming engine and game to be beating out the old king at the time, which was the Quake series. And I used to dominate these adults in Unreal Tournament. I'm talking just smack the fuck out of them. They ended up raging and not playing with me anymore. I had to play Publix by myself. But regardless, I had so much fun. Many long nights were spent playing this game when I should have been doing something like math homework. But hey, look what skill I mastered back then. Tell me what math can do for me now. That's what I thought. And that was the game that started the wildfire that is me loving the FPS genre. And I was only around 8 at the time. Funny enough, Battlefield 1942 and the expansion Road to Rome came out in the years to come, which once again my father was able to get a hold of for me, and he also got the IP address so I could play with these, these pussies again and smack them. But, Battlefield 1942, which is different from 1943, you have no idea, was quite a switch from the insanely fast-paced, no-gravity, crazy guns world of Unreal Tournament. So I wasn't immediately good at the game, I had to adapt. But after sitting down for a whole weekend and just playing the game hardcore, I was able to figure out how to play this game correctly and learn the controls and whatnot, which made me a better gamer in general if you're able to adapt like that. For those of you who haven't played the original Battlefield 1942, you missed a great game. It's like saying you've never seen Pulp Fiction. It's just something you needed to see. I mean, it's a great game. And yeah, that's when I really kicked off my FPS playing. Fuck Super Mario. He didn't have shit on my flat cannon and M1 Grand at the time. So that was phase 1 of what I'm going to call my gamer training, the very early day stuff. Now the second generation swept in with my older cousin by 5 years, Charlie. He introduced me to the most infamous PC title of all times, I think everyone knows, which is Half-Life. Some of you haven't played the series, and I'm telling you, you're missing out. It's one of those things you need in your repertoire. Repertoire? That's a fancy word for this kind of commentary, but anyway, you need to play that game. And Valve, if you're listening, I'll pay you to put out episode 3 right now. I really don't need another Left 4 Dead game. I'd really like to wrap up the Half-Life series, but anyway, Half-Life just blew my mind away. The story and campaign were just off-the-walls, bananas, fucking crazy. And at a young age, headcrabs traumatized me to flinch at anything small that moved quickly. just joking though. Something a lot of people don't know about Half-Life and Valve is that they welcome modders and hackers to that game when they released it with open arms. They wanted people to build upon their game, and they were happy with it. And it's a good thing they did, because they monetized on it and took those hackers and modders, bad connotation, right, and added them to the development team. And because of that, we've been given things like Day of Defeat, Team Fortress Classic, and the most well-received one of the bunch, and my personal king of games, Counter-Strike. Now, Half-Life was the amazing single-player game, but the modders had taken this and its functions and put it into the game called Counter-Strike, which was and probably still is my favorite game to this day. This very high action-paced multiplayer adventure was calling my name and I accepted her invite. I fell in love with this fucking game, the whole series in general across the board, but I've been around since the beginning when it came to Counter-Strike. And when Source was added, it just made the game phenomenal. And okay, so what? It didn't have things like aim down sights, kill streaks, or prone. You know what? It didn't need that shit to be fun. I don't even rage at Counter-Strike, nor did I ever back in those days. I just had good fun for hours on end, which is an aspect of video gaming I honestly miss.
So another game that crossed my path at a young age was Wolfenstein.
Hell yeah! Big props to Wolfenstein.
God, what the hell are you doing here, and how do you even know Wolfenstein?
Because, bro, if it wasn't for the Wolfenstein God, then I wouldn't be where I am today. Man, I need to call that fool sometime.
Good point, because Wolfenstein really did revolutionize gaming for that era of time. It was the first-person shooter, and it was a lot of fun. I had great hours playing enemy territory. Best game ever. It was free. They gave it to you for free, so I wish the most recent Wolfenstein was as good as the originals, but unfortunately it wasn't. But those are old classics for me, and I really enjoyed them. So that's basically the core foundation of my gaming history. It's just a lot of FPS after FPS, and that's probably what explains why my skills have transferred to current days. But a weird change of events occurred during my gaming history. I went to real-time strategy games, and I don't know why, because I don't really like them nowadays. I went to things like Warcraft 3 down the road, but that's different. That was when the game was about to die. I got into Age of Empires, StarCraft. I had a lot of fun in those, and RuneScape really took over for me during middle school. I got heavily addicted to that. And I don't even like MMORPGs. I fucking hate WoW. Sorry if you're a WoW fan, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I worked really hard on it. And if you enjoyed me talking about my gaming history, it goes on extensively after this, and I'll do it again. I'll do more on my channel. So if you want to see the rest of it and who I am, go check out my channel, DrCoffeeMD. But guys, this is wrapping up. I had a great time. RickyChops, best of love to you, man. I had a lot of fun with this, and hope you all have a great time and remain phantasmaglorious. And yes, I full homo love you all.
Next time on Procrastination.
Hey, Wolfie, what's up?
You know, just killing Nazis. You?
Ha, the usual, making Thunder Toro rage.